All right, so here's something I haven't tried before, and that's Dutch Brothers coffee. And I've got one right here. It's their premium something, I don't know. Let's see what it tastes like. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, so most of these, it looks like they're all drive-through, but they have a little walk-up over here. So you could walk up. That'll do good for the ride, and we'll get started. We're gonna take Highway 160 all the way up towards Sacramento. And you know what? I should just show you on a map. But we'll leave Dutch Brothers Coffee, and then we're gonna hit, I think it's called Human Bean, and that's another coffee shop, and that'll be the end. So let's take a look at the map. All right, well, that looks good. Let me show you where we're headed. And if we take a look at, this is California. Gee whiz, yes it is. And we are gonna, here we are, we're at Dutch Brothers Coffee. And we are gonna head up Highway 160. So this is the Highway 160 ride. And Highway 160 goes all the way up along this waterway here, which is part of the Delta system. And this is going to follow Highway 160, and that actually does follow a river if you look down here closer, and that is the Sacramento River. And we're going to follow that all the way up into Sacramento. And once we get to Sacramento, we're going to make a U-ey. There's Sacramento right there, and we're going to start heading back. So this is a loop, and it's about a 2-hour loop. And we'll be heading down Highway 84. I've actually never ridden this part of Highway 84, so that's going to be maybe boring because that looks so straight, but it'll probably be super fun, I'm sure. And we're going to follow that. This is the deep water channel to the river. That's how the ships get to Sacramento. And then we will follow that through and follow Highway 84 all the way back until we get to the Human Bean. Yes, sirree. So I'm going to catch you guys back as soon as we get to the Human Bean and see what that kind of coffee tastes like. All right, let's go. All right, guys. Hey, we are on Highway 160. This is basically the official start of Highway 160. We go up over the bridge, and you can see the Sacramento River and the sort of delta and all of that kind of converge here at this point. You have a deep water channel. You can see a ship over there going out the deep water channel. And that's about it for this little spot here. One of the really cool things you get along this ride is lots of bridges, and the bridges are pretty neat. A lot of them are these bridges that'll lift. So this is one of those that can raise up. And you'll find that also some of them, so here's one bridge, here we go, have these metal decks, so you can see straight through them if you look down. And that can be a little bit disconcerting on the motorcycle when you go across it, because the bike will sort of follow it sometimes. These tires don't really follow it, but a lot of the street tires are one, you know, your front tire might follow a little bit one direction. It feels like it weaves around. Just kind of let the bike do that. Totally fine. Anyways, lots and lots of bridges. We'll probably catch a bunch of those on video, and as soon as I get from behind these guys, we'll get on to following the river up a little bit. You can see the river here. That's part of the deep water channel there. A lot of windsurfers out in this area too. All right. Thank you for tuning into the channel. If you could do me a favor and just leave a comment, just say hey. You could say, leave an exclamation mark. You can do anything. Just leave a little comment in the comment section below. If you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to try and leave at least one of these videos out every Friday, showing you a new place to ride. Somewhere to give you about, you know, an hour to 2-hour ride. Little places within California and surrounding states. We're going to start out with a bunch of rides in California. But if you can, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we'll catch you on more videos to come. And we're going to continue on. This is Highway 160 moving on up, and we're going to follow this river up along. Some of the cool things about this ride is that you just keep following this windy road. And so you really don't need your map. You're going to cross over the river many times. But if you don't and you miss your turn and you keep going, you'll just end up at the next bridge that crosses the river. If there ends up being a detour, it will take you around to the next river crossing, because sometimes they work on these bridges and things. If you end up going off the road, not off road, but like off this main highway, you're either going to hit Highway 5, or if you went the other way, you would hit Highway 80. It's really difficult to get lost, but you can certainly feel lost out here. But it's beautiful to look along this river, and just there's little places to pull out if you want to bring a lunch. Kind of a fantastic little day ride. You can also go out, there's places to see in Sacramento, so it's a good destination to head out to Sacramento. And if you're coming from Sacramento, there's some good places to check out on the other side. So like Dutch Brothers Coffee, or going to the next place we'll hit, which I've never been to, and that will be the Human Bean Coffee. Just saw it on the map and I thought, hey, I ought to check that out. Anyways, we will catch up soon. There's another motorcyclist right there, and that's you. Cheers. So the first town you hit coming on Highway 60 headed north is Isilton. So this is a good place. A lot of people come out here and will have a coffee break or a lunch, something like that. It's a tiny little town. COVID's kind of hit the tourist part of this town, so there's not a lot of things open right now, but it is kind of a cool little place. You'll come through Isilton here. If you take a left, you'll end up in the river. If you take a right here, I know there's a couple little bars and coffee shops down this on Main Street that a lot of people used to meet up at. So if things get a little more popular during the weekend, then you'll find a bunch of people hanging out down there, and that's kind of cool. They also have a crawdad festival in this area, and during crawdad season, whatever that is, in the middle of summer, I think it's in August or something, they have a big crawdad festival, and that's a pretty cool down home kind of thing to do. Anyways, look at that bridge right there, and we're going to go ahead and cross this one. You could go straight. I know when the detours are up, you go straight and you can bypass this section. You just kind of go from side to side on this river. And if you take a look, this should be one of the metal graded ones. If we could look down, you'd see right down through to the river. Sure enough. I'm not sure, you couldn't really see that from your guys' point of view, but I can see it if I look down. And see, we're on Highway 160 still. So you get at least that confirmation and a good look at the river. It is super calm today, so during the weekends you'll see people water skiing, people still water ski, wakeboarding and wake surfing, and just having a good old time out here on the river. Not about 20 seconds from that town is a town called Loki. I think that's right. And this is Loki. There it is. Founded in, I think that said 1915. You guys could probably pause the video and see when that was established. It's an old place. So this is another cool place of the river here. Just thought I would give you guys a shot of this. Get a lot of views like this all the way up the river. Pretty cool. Alright, so now we got another bridge coming up. 160 goes both ways. Which way do you want to go? Oh gosh, let's see. There's the nice bridge there. We're going to go straight this time instead of crossing over, just for the halibut. Yeah, I trout you even got that. Oh my gosh. Stop it. Alright, we've dropped down off the levee, and I believe we're coming into what I believe is the town of Freeport. And instead, if you follow this and keep going in, we'll go right into Sacramento. We are going to turn left, go back over the river, and head over to Highway 84. There is a golf course here. It seems to be a pretty nice golf course in Freeport. And we have our drawbridge here. Sacramento's 9 miles from this point, but we're gonna, and I believe that's Freeport right there in front of us. We're gonna head across the freeway, the river again. But I think this is the first green bridge we've crossed. Does that mean something? Oh look, I can look straight down through to the water. It'd be cool if there was a boat going by right at that point. All right. And now we're on the other side of the river again. Some really cool houses along here. Lots of ranches. We missed a couple of towns because they did not have their signs up, and one was blocked by the trees. I believe one of them was Hood, because there's a Hood restaurant that looks really nice. More of an upscale restaurant there. If you have a chance to, you're coming by here in the evening. I'm also left with the idea that this would be a fantastic way to take a scooter on a really long ride, say from Sacramento down to the Bay Area. Taking Highway 160 would be fantastic. Nice smooth road. There's not a lot of traffic out here, and you can keep your speed to whatever you kind of want to. It is a highway, Highway 160, but it's not a freeway, so I think you can get away with any size scooter. I'd love that ride. I think it'd be fantastic. All right, this is our turn point to get onto Highway 84. There's really not a clear designation. You'll get to a Davis Street. That's a fire station right there in front of me. So if you went a little further, you'd see the fire station at the stop sign. But we're going to turn left and go that direction. Maybe that's super clear. I didn't bring a map or anything like that. I just kind of remember it from when we were looking at the map. So pull off this way, and maybe there's designation somewhere, but there's not even a street sign. I wouldn't recommend bringing a GPS because it's just fun to get lost if I took a wrong turn. I mean, I've got a GPS, I'm just not turning it on. If you get lost, well, you just find something new, right? I think that's an awesome thing to do. But this should be, and I'm 99% sure that this is Highway 84, and we're now headed it's sort of southwest, and kind of back the way we came. So this is sort of a loop. We're going to get over to that deep water channel now. The part of the river we're on is more of the shallow river where people do you know, all the boating and stuff. Then we're going to get to more of the deep water channel out here, and we'll see what that looks like. I've never been out there, so it'll be interesting. Lots of interesting houses out here. So this is really close to Sacramento, so sort of the farthest out this direction that Sacramento is coming. This is pretty close. This is be a real easy commute place. Nice houses there. Well, I wasn't going to show you that car. That wasn't why I turned it on, but looks like somebody sort of messed up there. I was going to show you the deep water channel there, the American River, I guess they call that, the deep water channel of the American River. I have no idea, but it goes to Sacramento River. There's the American River, the Sacramento River out here. They all kind of converge. One really interesting thing, if we can catch a glimpse of this helicopter coming, I'm going to try and pull to the side of the road so we can see this sort of cool glimpse at something. I'm going to pull off here. Now check this out. That helicopter coming by. Now I was thinking that was something it wasn't, but looks two ladders. He's toting two ladders. I'm not sure you can see that very well on this video. At first I thought it was one of those big saw things to cut the branches away. It was two ladders. The helicopter came two ladders. All right, we can get going again. It's really pretty out here. Gorgeous piece, gorgeous view of this part of the river. Maybe that's not the deep water channel. It's certainly part of the Delta system out here. We're gonna head down off of the... All right, guys, so we can take a look. We got ourselves a little tiny bridge here crossing just a little, looks like a creek, but it's part of the river system. And every once in a while you get a glimpse of these signs that say Highway 84, so we know we're at least going the right direction. And we're up for I think we're in for a good surprise here in a minute. It's one of the things you kind of wanted to wait for on this video, and it's one of the highlights of this entire video. All these back roads. There was a long section of straight there from Sacramento back to this area where we get a little bit more windy roads, and lots of little insects. So if you bring your windscreen cleaner, that'll certainly help, because at this point I've got so many bugs on my windscreen, it's getting more and more difficult to see. It's just being this close to the river, you just get lots of these little gnats, and they just collect on your windscreen. If you wipe them away, you just get little gnat gut everywhere. All right, so we're gonna wind our way along this part of the river and look at the little sites. There's little marinas, all sorts of cool little things out here. And then we're up for a surprise in just a moment. All right, I think we see it coming up here. You can see on this side of the river and this side of the river, this road's about to end, but there's a ferry. The ferry appears to be on the other side of the river here. Hopefully it's running today, or I got a long trip back. Let's see what we got here. I can hardly see through my windscreen, so I'm pushing it up so I can see. Let's see what we got. It says it's open every 20 minutes. All right. Let's see what happens here, guys. All right, the ferry is on its way here. They're going to drop these cars off. I'm not sure how long we wait after that to get on board and cross over, but ferry is supposed to leave every 20 minutes on the hour. It actually kind of confuses me a little bit. I know that seems dumb, but so is it every 20 minutes on the hour? So wait a minute, 20 minutes after the hour? Or does that mean it just goes every 20 minutes starting on the hour? Who knows? All right. Headed across the river here. Pretty smooth. It's a nice size. Now look, he lowered the ramp so I can see. How nice. It's got super smooth. The last ferry I was on, it was in Dawson Creek or Dawson City, one of those. It was a little bit rough. In fact, you had to make sure your brake was on, and when they hit the bank on the other side, they had to gun it, and then you had to go through a sand pit to get out. It was a little crazy. This is pretty smooth. Now watch, I'll drop my bike, but hopefully not. Pretty darn cool. Well, we'll get on to the other side here and make our way over to the other coffee shop. Anybody remember what that was called? Human Bean. Let's see what that's like. All right. Okay. Ramming speed. There we go. We're going to be on our way. Alright guys, that puts us on to back onto Highway 84 here, and we'll head into town. Alright, I think I just saw a sign that said this was Weatherford. I'm not sure if that's right or not, but I saw, didn't look like an official city sign, so I don't really know. We're headed towards Rio Vista. I know this big bridge here. We head over that bridge when we go back after we hit the coffee shop. That'll get us back on Highway 160 over there. All right, so we got to be really close, guys. I will pick you up here in a minute as soon as we get to that coffee shop. It's been a spectacular ride. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the human being, and we have made it to our destination. We're gonna go ahead and move on and go get some lunch because it's time for lunch now. Hey, thanks a lot for coming with me on this little tour. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, and as always, have a great day and have a great ride. We'll talk to you soon. Boo-boo.